With joint purchase, you stand a very good chance with lenders. With joint purchase, you stand good chance with lenders. If you are thinking about joint purchase, okay? And when I say joint purchase, I'm talking about you buying property with your wife or with your husband. If you are thinking about that, there are plenty of lenders out there willing to borrow you X amount of money. Now, listen, that does not necessarily mean that you cannot go into individual purchase. That does not mean that you can't purchase a property as a single person. It depends on how much you're earning and the price of the property. Please, guys, don't mind my voice. I'm losing it out to code, okay? I just thought I should quickly come to drop this so that we can have understanding, okay? So depending on how much you earn and the price of property, you can buy a property as a single person. There are properties for 60K, 70, 80, 90, 100, that you can afford as an individual. You understand? But if you are talking about a joint purchase, which is for the sake of this video, you stand broader opportunity chance with various lenders out there who are willing to borrow a specific amount of money to buy a particular property. Now, have this at the back of your mind, okay? If you see, that does not necessarily mean that you can't purchase a property with partners of various categories. Link it up, all right? Link it up. Now, for the sake of this video, guys, let's talk about the partners, husband and wife purchasing property together. You understand? You stand a very, very good chance, and it's going to be really easy for you to get on property like that very quickly. Why? Because lenders want to see how much the husband is earning, how much wife is earning, put together, multiply by X to determine how much that particular lender is willing to drop. And take, for instance, if a lender is willing to drop £250,000, you are looking for a property within that amount of money. If a lender is willing to give you 250, you are not going to go and look for property of 300,000, except you want to add the 50,000 by yourself. If a lender is willing to borrow you 250K, you are looking for property, no more than that amount of money. Understand this very clearly. And oftentimes I've heard guys say, I don't want to purchase a property with my husband. I don't want to buy a property with my wife because we might divorce in the future. Because we might divorce in the future, we might separate in the future. And for me, I jump into conclusion immediately to say, you have already predicted the future of your marriage if you think like that. Even some homes that are peaceful, some husband and wives that are living in peace with each other, some of them do think like that. That because this particular person purchased property with his wife and they are divorced, this and that. And because of that, you don't want to go into joint purchase with your wife or with your husband. Listen, don't determine the future of your marriage now with negativity. Okay? Even if you go into joint purchase and purchase that particular property, you are more or less and indirectly like a business partners. Okay? More or less like business partners. Don't forget that your details and the details of your wife put together, you are submitting it to lenders. So the lender is indirectly seeing both of you as business partners. You understand? If you as a husband bring £10,000, your wife £10,000 for £20,000 to deposit for particular property. Now, what that means is that you as the husband, you have only invested that your £20,000. Wife has invested at £10,000. In the future, say in the next 5 years, whatever equity comes on that particular property belongs to the two of you. Whatever the equity, whatever the amount that comes on that property after 5 years or after the amount of number of years, whatever, belongs to the both of you. So even if in the future you eventually divorce yourselves or you are separated, you still have your share of the property. It's quite simple. And I don't want you to always be thinking about something negative all the time. All the time. At least I've got about 6 to 7 or 8 people now that have sent these particular DMs to me that they can't purchase a property with their wives or with their husband because of this particular reason. You are still together. So if you know you are going to divorce yourselves in the future or you are thinking about divorce to yourselves in the future, why are you still in the marriage? You should have divorced today. You should have divorced today. One of the easiest ways for you to get on property like that, if you are interested, is for you to think of joint purchase. Okay? Think of joint purchase. A property of £250,000 can easily be purchased by couples, by husband and wife that has a mutual understanding. Husband and wife that are working, consistently in the UK and has a very good credit rating, good credit score in the UK can purchase a property of £250,000 comfortably, depending on how much you guys are earning though. It's not like you're earning 10,000 per annum, your husband is earning 10,000 per annum. It's not going to work like that. You understand? I'm just making that as an example for you to understand where I'm going. Okay? So you stand a very good chance to better your lives living abroad, living in the UK. If you live in peace and harmony and you're ready and willing to put resources together to better your life, of course, the sky is your beginning. Don't begin to think negative to yourselves. To be honest, there are a lot of guys, there are a lot of couples that are doing great exploits in the country, buying properties here and there, I know of about two couples now that are on their third property. They've got one brand new one and two older ones, buy to let here and there. So join the league. There are other, I don't want to mention the name of countries. There are people from various other countries that are owning 50 properties, 60 properties, 100 properties in this country. You understand? You'll be wondering, how did they do it? They started from somewhere. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. You understand? So don't always think about the fact that we can divorce in the future, we can separate in the future, and that's the reason why I don't want to go into joint purchase with my husband or with my wife. My wife is going to push me out of the house. Don't join those people. Don't join those people thinking, having these particular narratives or this particular belief. Don't join them. In as much as you have a mutual understanding with your partner, with your wife, or with your husband, you understand? And you are living in peace and harmony together in the same house, under the same roof, renting, you understand? You can buy a property of your own and become a landlord of yourselves.